I think one of the things that's absolutely critical in the Commonwealth is for us to be respectful of each other and to appreciate that this isn't something that affects just one of us and not others. It affects all 53 of us, and we have an opportunity, if we choose, to come together and have a serious debate of what we are going to do practically to implement a change which will make the fight against corruption much easier. Because if you look at what's happening with the crooks, they're conspiring and they know no boundaries. So I believe we need a conspiracy of our own, but the conspiracy has to be the conspiracy of the just, and we need to be much better than they.
Well, it's an incredible network of countries. It comprises about a third of the world's population, and some really serious countries, some big, some small, countries at every stage of political and economic development, and it's a network where we recognize things. We have a common language, a shared history, and legal systems where we will always recognize the legal system operates in different ways, but with recognizable features. So we have a lot in common, and it can be a fantastic network. And this kind of activity, transparency, the fight against corruption is going to matter more in the years we're going into than at any time. You know, you see corruption. David Cameron made transparency one of the features of his chairmanship of the G8 2 years ago. In Singapore last July, he made a speech about how important the fight against corruption. And actually it's a tax. Corruption is a tax on businesses and therefore on consumers and citizens, but the proceeds don't go to the citizen. The proceeds go to the elite, and that we have to fight against.
It's quite telling that the most advanced countries, even in the Commonwealth or worldwide, are perceived as the least corrupt, while the poorest of the poor are perceived as the most corrupt. So you could see that corruption does in fact matter for, for wealth and standard of living. Rather than pointing fingers or being, shown to be holier than thou, I think it should help the efforts of leaders, which I'm sure they would like to, and sort of help them by examples which have, cases which have succeeded, both in our countries and other countries. So one should search for good examples which have worked, and by examples, I think sometimes you go quite a long way.
So the Commonwealth includes countries where vast amounts of money is stolen from the public, but it also includes financial centres where the money can be laundered and hidden. So the Commonwealth today, setting out an ambition to act together to fight corruption, is a really important step for both addressing corruption in the countries where it's stolen and the financial centres where the money can be laundered.
The Commonwealth has got to become a normative force. It doesn't have a military, it doesn't have economic heft, it doesn't have regional affiliations. What it does have is a normative framework which can be leveraged as an alternative to the global discourse to make the Commonwealth be a front runner in terms of values, in terms of human rights, in terms of fighting the ills that beset democracy.
The Commonwealth Youth Forum gets people from diverse backgrounds and cultures and different countries. Therefore, it's a kind of platform for youth to involve in inclusive participation. So people can involve in decision making at a common platform, and so I think we can overcome the problem of corruption.